Good morning. It's April 23rd, 2020. I'm Zank from Bennett Data Science for today's update on the COVID-19 recovery graphs, where you'll see how states and countries are recovering from COVID-19. Let's look at some of the headlines for today. The death rate in the United States has been decreasing for 6 days straight. You can see the curve looks like it's flattening up here towards the top. If we look at the raw data for the United States in particular, we see this really steep drop for the past 6 days. Let's hope this continues. Again, we want this orange curve, which is the number of new deaths per day, to drop to zero. When we have no new deaths per day, there's no more COVID-19, at least in terms of deaths for that country. So this progress in the United States is being driven largely by what's going on in New York. So let's switch over to the United States, keep looking at the raw data. New York has shown a steady drop for 11 days. New Jersey, right next door, has been dropping for the past 5 days. This decrease in death rate is a very positive sign. On the other hand, some of the states like Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut are showing that they haven't been able to show this flattening at all. The death rate in orange is still increasing for all 3 states. If we go down a bit farther, we see what we talked about yesterday, that Georgia is still increasing. I think there was a change to how Georgia was attributing deaths to COVID-19 versus other causes, which may have resulted in this peak and then this drop and this rise again. But Georgia is certainly a state to keep our eyes on in the future. Maryland and Ohio still going up. Washington has remained flat in its number of new deaths per day, which is not a good sign. Again, we want this death rate to drop down quickly, as we're seeing here in Texas. Colorado, we're also keeping our eye on. They had a peak of 23 new deaths per day, and that stayed constant for a while and then dropped down to 19, but now it's up higher than ever at 25 new deaths per day. Let's hope that this turns around quickly and drops down. Internationally, let's look over at the world, and we'll stay on this raw data view. Again, the United States doing quite well in seeing this new deaths per day, this death rate drop down towards zero, and showing that that's good progress for flattening the curve across the United States. Italy and Spain, some of the hardest hit countries in the world, showed a big drop in the beginning, or maybe let's say a week and a half ago, since right at the end of March, and they've both since then shown drops in the death rate, but it's not nearly as quickly as we'd like to see. Again, if this orange curve drops down to zero, there are no new deaths per day, which is the goal. Spain has even flattened from 387 2 days ago, and actually gone up a bit to 391 just yesterday on the 22nd. So we'll keep our eye on Spain over the next couple days and on Italy. United Kingdom not dropping nearly as quickly as we would have expected. And in some news that I read yesterday, there could even be quite a difference between the number of real deaths in the United Kingdom and those that were attributed to COVID-19. There's some controversy around how things are being counted in the UK. So we'll see if that results in a correction or a change, which could drastically make this curve look quite a bit different. France and Belgium are showing that the death rate is dropping rather quickly, which is good. Look at Germany for a moment. They had a change in death rate, dropped down, and then went back up, and now it's down but flattened at right around 200 new deaths per day. Let's keep an eye on them as time goes by. Brazil dropping quite nicely in terms of getting this death rate down to zero. Netherlands has been staying high and oscillating a bit, and we don't know exactly why this is happening. It could be that regulations were relaxed and then people went outside, and then you could see the death rate spike again. We don't know. It could even be changes in how they're counting and attributing deaths. Sweden, one that we mentioned yesterday, and Canada, both increasing rapidly. Not a good sign for either one of those countries. Switzerland flattening out. Mexico rather steep in its rise as well. So this has been an overview. You can see all of these graphs on our website. I'll put a link with the video. Thank you. Be well and have the best day you can.